connected. And I may need to just fix my live streams because it may have went down. But as you see here, the medium tank should get some good shot damage there. She may try to squeeze up more power charge for this, or this could give her a power charge for her super. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Just needs to squeeze out another 10,000 funds of charge, which is actually easier said than done. Does he get what, half charge while beyond the offense? Superpower there that could allow the one-shot the Neo tank. I am curious about this. Up to 82 with a high luck roll, she will one-shot the Neo or finish off the Neo tank. Drake now has his super. Leaves down to 1 health. That was to be statistically expected. Trying to interrupt that HQ cap. Of course, has 10 capture progress remaining. Artillery piece in range. The artillery piece. Tank, infantry, tank, battlecopter. And now here comes Drake's superpower. Lash has a massive leaf. 142,000 versus 81 plus 27, so it's effectively 105. And she just got 20% of her value called. Making some good headway there. Battlecopter will go down. His Neo tank or medium tank could counterattack the medium tank. Good strike there, but of course her double defense really did help out. Those gonna just try to zone out the medium tank with bodies. So got the last artillery piece here on top of the city and will be at full health starting next turn. Mech infantry. Tank down here. Another medium tank here. Let's see. Remember as well, she has... Wait. He didn't capture the last turn. He attacked with the last turn, didn't he? So, still has some time there. Good damage there. Recon, infantry. Probably let the tank not worth the turn of the tank to engage that. Medium tank does a good shot there on the anti-air, allowing more battlecopter free reign. Finish off that one. Another tank deployed on the field. More battlecopter, infantry. Does finish off the Lash tank, but she still has 2 battlecopters, so probably anti-air should be next. Neo tanks on top of the city. Only 3 health though. The artillery piece should be able to get... no, wait, the artillery piece will get flanked by the tank. Takes out. Capture interrupter. Lash is right now 30,000 versus 24,000, so she still has a sizable economic advantage. Anti-air there, as expected. Good strikes there. Lash does need some reinforcements out there. Whoa, gets a good strike there, takes out that medium tank. Does be careful about the anti-air, though she may just eye to draw it in to let the tank get a strike onto it. And Drake is still at 3 comm towers. Remember that as well. Lash is only at 1 comm tower. Infantry puts a hit there on the anti-air or the artillery piece. Lash starting to falter there a little bit. At this point in time, she may need to get a medium or neo tank up here. Another anti-air, another tank. And we've still got Drake mechs here. Let's get Drake on the mech. This mech can counterattack as well. Good shot there. Other tank cashing up north. Battlecopter takes the Neo tank. First strike there. She now has Drake now has a tsunami. Interrupts that capture there. Tank does go down there. Recon goes down. Tank's a good strike there on the artillery piece. Lash does have another artillery piece here. Gets first strike there. Lash now has her prime tactics, but she's taking quite a bit of losses there. She's starting to fall behind by a significant amount, and Drake should have a superpower next turn. Here comes Lash's prime tactics. Capture the comm tower first. Always capture comm towers first, even if you do it before your superpower, because if you forget, you lost 10% firepower that entire turn. Sprints across the mountain. This is an immortal infantry unit. I'm curious about that. 8 defense stars. Deals 2 to 2 damage or 3 to 3 damage. In other words, really low damage. That's just humorous. I think this is actually slightly off, isn't it? There we go. Finish off that one. Anti-air or artillery piece on the HQ. Triple star attack. Anti-air goes down. Anti-air gets struck, allowing her battlecopters more free reign. Tank on tank violence. Going for this comm tower there. 1 health infantry unit used as a meat shield. Tank, infantry, saving 10,000 funds, and here comes Tsunami. So I'm gonna finish some of these outlying units. Almost stops that capture there. There's still actually a couple neutral properties remaining. Despicably neutral. Good strike down the Neo tank, as was in the battlecopter. That was probably not worth it. That is, of course, 8 defense stars. Minus 20% effectiveness because of the health reduction. And I got another medium tank. Infantry, mech. And now Lash does have 35,000. She's also down almost by 35,000, so she's starting to fall behind. Join captures. And a mega tank. I was not expecting a mega tank. She wants this area claimed. She could eye towards HQ. The nice thing about one would deal with mega tanks is also have wasted ammo, and Drake does have some fodder here: a 2 health anti-air and 3 health tank and 4 health tank that can waste all the ammo of the mega tank. Clean up some lashes units up there. Lots of infantry, lots of... got another battlecopter mech and artillery piece here. Finish off that unit there. Mega tank is advancing. How much does a mega tank artillery piece does to a mega tank? Right now they're both at 2 comm towers. Some, not a whole lot. Good strike there from the artillery piece. Another medium tank down south for Lash, and lots of infantry anti-air up north. I don't even think battlecopters will scratch the mega tank all too much. Even with, of course, this Drake battlecopters too. Yep, that's probably not a good engagement. Some free hits there on that artillery piece. Mech, infantry, artillery, infantry, battlecopter. Mega tank advancing. Mega tank's in range to lock down this base. I'm assuming it can one-shot an artillery piece on top of a base. Yeah, it can. Oh, then again, that was also one that was on a city, so if I'm put it as road, still very, very can. She is on top of a foreign city, so no respawn there. So one plus Drake can do is throw his light tanks into it and drain its ammo entirely. Mech does get a good strike there. Tank does go down. Drake's preparing for the mega tank. Does have a decent wall there. He will have at least one artillery piece in range. Some damage there. Let's see, the mega tank will probably not be able to reach these artillery pieces, even with a prime tactics. That's 4 movement tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, will not be able to reach artillery pieces if go to right there. If he takes out the infantry unit, can only range this one. Last closing distance, will we see a prime tactics? Anti-air deployed on the left flank to stop the battlecopters. Takes out the infantry unit, not the tank. It's triple artillery piece there. Though putting the tank there denies it being hit by all the artillery pieces. If he did attack the tank there, he would receive 2 artillery barrages. It's not great, so that's probably just a smart placement there. And Lash's medium and Neo tank up back there is getting quite healed up. It's probably a good idea to push them forward next turn. This 2 health tank will still be useful. I think he should start pushing his wounded tanks towards the mega tank. Just have it waste ammo. And looks like Drake is falling back within the mega tank. Mega tank doesn't also have too much fuel, so a regular typhoon or tsunami wouldn't be half bad. Neo tank push forward into his own property. Mega tank on mega tank violence, that was expensive. I don't know if that was worth it. Tank is a good strike there on the artillery piece. Artillery, infantry, infantry. Looks like this HQ maybe being decaptured once again. Anti-air does take a good strike there. Lash now has her prime tactics. And quite a bit of losses there. Lash's HQ is under massive threat now. There's a capture progress, and I see nothing that can reach it. Yeah, I think that's going to be game over. I see nothing can reach it, even with prime tactics. And superpower there. And that's probably going to be game over for Lash. Prime tactics. Takes out the mega tank. And does resign there. This Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on next replay, I'm going to need to check my live stream since I did lost network connection in the middle of that. Rumble course reattached. So yeah, I think that's still good. I'm just going to do a test chat there to make sure the chat window is still doing good. Nope. Chat window here will need to be fixed. Let's see now. Yep, that should be good to go. That's good. And yep, that's all good. My apologies for that. If I lose connection, I have to verify some stuff. In this case, the YouTube was resetting. So, on to the next replay. Here we go. First, I have to do some window resizing. Okay, that should be good. And that should be good coverage. And that should be all good. And yep, I think that should be all good enough. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web Replay. Spawn on the right side as the orange, Amber Blaze Adder. We have Ambition. Spawn on the left side as the Gray Sky Grim. We've got Red Hot, who's not playing red, he's playing gray. You do you, Grim. Grim is also a CO who tends to invert the CO tier list chart. You know, better versus stronger COs, weaker versus weaker COs, because his primary weakness is fighting mobility COs, which tend to be on lower on the rankings when it comes to power levels. Since he is also has plus 3% attack, minus from defense, having your opponents able to get a strike on you before you get a strike, it tends to hurt him pretty badly, particularly if minus 20% badly. And of course, Adder is generally the movement CO, having no day-to-day and very cheap +1 movement power. Either way, let's take a look at the map. This map does looks like double base, both initially captured. Player 2 does start with an infantry unit, neutral airport here, and got comm tower here and here. So overall, it looks like a relatively small map with a decent amount of roads, cities, and not much production. So probably going to be less infantry intensive, more probably battle copter intensive. But that's just guess at the moment. So let's go and get started. Multiple properties, of course, being captured. So initial early capturing game. So we do have slight variations. Gray Sky pushed towards the center. Now Adder is as well. There's also a mix of shores here and some rivers. Shores traversable, rivers not so much. And now got some tanks on the field. One from Grim, one from Adder. Recon infantry. This map has a lot of roads and so some shores and bridges, so Recon should zip around the map quite easily. Plus plenty of forests from the hiding spot. Something else about the live stream over here. Click it live. There we go. My apologies. Gets trapped. Oh no. Recon with the first strike there, alerting himself. Of course, the Adder tank has not been seen just yet. This could be a good spot for it. Goes into the city there. Out of vision range at the moment, so that tank is hidden. But yeah, with our caster vision, we know putting the tank right there wouldn't be a half bad spot. And now Grim's tank is there. Of course, Adder does not see at the moment. So if Adder were to push forward, maybe with the infantry in to scout out the forest, that'd be good for him. Let's find out what he does. Capture up a property, and the airport. Comm tower. Recon advancing. Infantry there. Anti-air, expecting a battle copter relatively soon. Oh, it's always nice for his infantry. Something's going to be trapped there. If it's Recon, that's good for Adder. If it's the tank, that's good for Grim. Recon waits. And tank actually falls back, so this tank is not spotted. Of course, with his fog war vision, I think he's able to see some movements there. I don't know what vision he had at the exact moment, but seeing the Recons nearby, good vision. Does get trapped on the infantry unit there, so now that Grim tank could be gunned down by the opposing tanks. We've got 3 tanks this region. And this one should be in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is shore, not sea, so that Grim tank is done for. First strike there. Recon in a good spotting position. Recon up there. Anti-air push forward. Tank on tank violence. I really think he should have used this tank here. But that tank does push forward to the city. Now a battlecopter tank infantry. Overall, I don't think Grim needs to tech up to medium tanks as much, since he has the same firepower capabilities as Combi, it just can't take a hit. Really can't take a hit, especially like Combi. Recon down. Adder now has a power, which is very nice. We do have a 1 health tank here. Battlecopter tank and base skip. Pulls back the wounded tank and the other wounded tank. This tank could go to this forest there, but I think it will still be spotted. Infantry gets that forest. Gets the first strike on the infantry unit. Very nice. Waits that infantry unit. Pulls back the tank. Now got a battlecopter reserve tank here, so Grim can't be too hyper aggressive. Right now, Grim does have a slight economic advantage. At least income. Pulls back his tanks. Easy kill there. More Grim tanks push forward. Does spot the property being captured, so that cannot interrupt that. Tank anti-air. Another tank push forward. Infantry gets on top of the mountain. Gets a strike there onto the city. Good shot there onto the tank. Gets the infantry unit there as well. We do now have what's called Sidewinder, right? Knuckle Duster. This is a Sidewinder. So many, I get all the powers and superpowers mixed up. But Knuckle Duster is now available. Giving increase in plus firepower from 30% to 50%. Tank on tank violence gets a good shot there. Take 5 turns to capture that property. Anti-air push forward. Another tank advancing gets a good strike on that infantry unit. Merge. And gets a good strike there. Preserving infantry is actually somewhat important in this map. If there's only 2 bases, you can't mass produce infantry. So preserving infantry units are not really a viable cannon fodder unit as much as all the matchups. Excuse me, that's a sizable hiccup. So you can always go for more infantry if more air focus as well. More tank on tank violence. Great first strikes there by Adder. Effectively knocking out those tanks. Battlecopter goes down. Now we both got the Sidewinder and the Haymaker. But I don't think he really needs a Haymaker. I think a Knuckle Duster will generally be fine. Plus 80% firepower is a lot, but also it could be a lot of overkill. Plus 50% may be enough to get some good work done. Battlecopter tank. Let's see what he goes for. There's a couple juicy targets there. Superpower, so Haymaker. How much damage is this going to do? That was a one shot. What was the damage like on that? Whoops. Actually, I needed a bit of a higher luck roll for that one. Trying to get the capture. That's going to be a dead anti-air, isn't it? Practically knocked out. 5 health tank will finish off, no problem. That will probably one-shotted. A lot of this stuff's like, I have no idea how much damage it's going to do. A lot is the short answer. So that was a guaranteed kill. Picks up that infantry unit there. Probably a good idea to go for this tank on tank violence. Battlecopter push way forward. Goes a 2 health tank of that's trying to soften it up first. Oop. And he wanted the tank on the 1-star plane. And of course a bit farther back. So great gains there. We'll end the turn with 78,000. Adder has a nice 69,000 with still 16 in the bank. So Adder's ever so slightly ahead at the start of turn. So it's, right now it comes day-to-day turns. And here comes the Sidewinder. Or not? Yes. Side slip. He went for his power, not superpower. He can get his power next turn again as well. Sometimes you only need +1 movement speed rather than 2. So this is a good idea if you'll need +1. Plus also give him +10, +10, either way. And of course he can get another power next turn. Keep the ball rolling. Great strikes there. Finish off that capture. Looks like at this point, city will be captured. No more tanks for Adder. A gross overkill in that battlecopter like normal, but even more so now. Good shot there. Down to 1 health there. There's a little bit of replay bug. My apologies. Another power is available. Good strike there. Good attack there. Doesn't need his power at the moment. Volvo, it feels like Grim is in a better position. Has more units in the field. So it looks like Adder has good number of tanks instead of the map. In front of this, they have similar unit numbers, but it feels like there's more for Grim. I don't know how to explain it. He does have a... He is starting to falter a little bit, Grim, but still come down to day-to-day. There's good strikes there. He probably should have popped his Knuckle Duster rather than Superpower Haymaker in the previous turn. He will need to pop a Knuckle Duster probably next turn. This one's going to go for his regular power, maybe even the superpower, probably the regular. Here, tank. Right now the property is even. Does stop into this flip. Goes for regular power. There's that one. Knuckle Duster now available. A lot of Grim's outlying things starting to be destroyed. Battlecopter, recon. He is now down 62,000, and with his funding there, he'll be up to what? Close to 80,000. So he's down by about a turn and a half. Knuckle Duster there. He needs to make some good work out of this Knuckle Duster. Get some good strikes there. There's also an infantry unit there. Battlecopter and Battlecopter Violence will one-shot it. Good hit there as well. Interrupts the captures down there. And here, push way forward. Infantry unit takes a shot there. Gets some damage. Cost effective, but the problem is, is you don't get many infantry units on this map with only 2 factories, so you gotta preserve the infantry to a certain degree to go around and capture some stuff. But now I've got the side slip there. And the side slip allows the recon to engage the infantry, interrupts the capture. Because right now, both sides have... Adder literally only has a handful of infantry units left, and none of them are healthy. Does pull them back there. He may need to get a round of more infantry in the field. Maybe invest more in the airport this turn. He is falling back a little bit there. This tank could probably get a pot shot on one of these infantry units. Does go for another infantry unit there. Has an anti-air and battlecopter. Yeah, right now Grim only has a handful of infantry units there, so a handful of neutral properties in the map. This map is, of course, relatively small. Going for that despicable neutral property. And setting up north. Anti-air could push down south, but I'm just keeping the air, the waterway, the battlecopter, not a bad idea. It's hit on the recon, not on the tank. Finish off there with the infantry unit. There's still a tank there. Infantry, battlecopter, artillery piece. Tank on tank violence. Gets a good strike there. Very far from his power. Got maybe another knuckle duster next turn. Infantry unit takes that one out. Easy pick there. I think he waited some stuff up here. So yeah, he's eyeing for just a bit of defense. There's a battlecopter in this region. ATR is in range. ATR is probably out of vision range. Got a decent battlecopter field for Adder as well. Only one ATR for Grim. 2 battlecopters. Pushing forward, does spot some units there. Got an artillery piece here, which will hit like a truck. Picks up that tank there, but it does not look good to me. And this is with Caster Vision, of course. He does not see that. There's always some issues with replay when it comes to vision. In this case, he does not see those. Knuckle Duster is available. He's going to lose 2 battlecopters next turn. That's going to be a pretty sizable loss. He still has 2 tanks up here as well. I'm not liking Grim's positioning right now. He will end the turn with about 100,000 in the field with 5,000 in the bank. Adder's day-to-day will get him a slightly ahead as well, so it's come down to day-to-day advantage in funding for the difference between 2. But this is going to be painful, isn't it? Tank is exposed, both battlecopter exposed. Yeah, there's another battlecopter here. More stuff down here. And that's a tank easy pickings for the battlecopter and or tank. Yeah, I have a feeling Grim's going to disintegrate this turn. Not sure how much capture progress is left on that. If he charged forward like that, it must be very little. Sees the anti-air as well. Stops the capture. Hits the anti-air as well. Allowing his battlecopters more free reign. Good strike there. Now we got a Knuckle Duster, but I don't think a Knuckle Duster would be great. I think just or a Haymaker. I think a Knuckle Duster would be adequate. Medium tank there as well. And does have his side slip. Recon infantry, battlecopter. Let's see what he goes for. He captures the property. Finds, what was it, the battlecopter or the tank? Either way, sees both, spots the anti-air. He may be saving his power and or superpower this turn. He's pulling back, so he's saving it. He's trying to regroup and then push forward. He's at 65,000 with 24,000 bank, so he's at what, 90,000? Close enough. Versus 100,000 plus income, so it's actually close to 130,000. So about 40,000 income difference. So Grim's behind by 2 days approximately at the moment, which is getting quite massive. Infantry unit does go down. Capture gets interrupted. They have equal income at the moment. We do have a Grim medium tank on the field, which will punch really hard. Anti-air tank. Battlecopter goes down. It's a good trade to sack an anti-air for a battlecopter. Plus, it does force your opponent forward into known locations so you can counterattack. You have an artillery piece now in range of part of the anti-air's location, so it could be a bit of bait, but I don't see anything that'll really take the bait right there at least. Missile? I don't see any use for a missile on this map. Recon? It's really hard to make missiles any sort of get any value out of it. And, well, Grim will nuke anything it touches with that missile, but it able to fire is a whole nother matter. I guess he really wants a counter to the anti-air. Maybe put the missile right here? I have no idea where you should put a missile on this map. Or in general. I guess he's trying to ambush battlecopters, multiple battlecopters. It does cost, what, 1,200? A missile cost, and battlecopters 9,000, so it needs to kill off 2 battlecopters to pay for itself. Missile pushes way forward. Anti-airs push way forward. Battlecopter looks like Grim's starting to coalesce right there. You may want to get something for defense here then. Another medium tank. Okay, Grim is going to finish the game. He's going straight for the HQ. He's going to use the missile to lock down the airport. That's my belief what he's trying to do. This is going to be not necessarily to snipe, it's meant to lock down. I think I understand. Though if it's coming from me, it's probably wrong. Multiple battlecopters push way forward. A couple artillery pieces. He's waiting a lot of stuff. Adder does have ever so slight economy advantage. And the values between the two players has stabilized. I think it's now 1 turn difference rather than 2 now. Recon push way forward, not a bad idea. Infantry push way forward. This artillery piece maybe is meant for bait. And we still have a Haymaker available, so who knows what's going to happen. Multiple mini tanks, multiple light tanks. Recon, that's probably a good idea. Relatively late for the push, but there's plenty of roads for it to charge forward and spot, so it's perfectly fine. Battlecopter infantry. Recon will be important to help lock down the airport, but wait, don't missiles have really good spotting, like 5 tower range of spotting? Battlecopter and battlecopter violence. He sees a good amount of this force there, so he knows Grim signed for assault for this region, so he has a good amount of artillery there. Rivers help protect it as well. Not many mechs infantry units to push across the rivers, so putting some artillery pieces here should actually be just adequate. There's no way for him to really reach other than come around. Another units being weighted. Neo tank. So the mobility tank is now on the field by the mobility player. 2 health battlecopter charge way forward for a bit of a force recon, if you will. We'll spot a whole lot of stuff, and there's a whole lot of stuff he's not seeing, so easy pick there. Missile there. Has he seen Grim's missile? Recon being knocked out. Got some infantry units here. Got some tanks here. So Grim does have a decent force here. Adder, of course, most of his force here, and decent small force here. Battlecopter goes down to the infantry unit. So both players are still posturing. Another Neo tank. He is spamming out Neo tanks. Recon push way forward will spot a whole lot of stuff. A little pick there. Is he going for it? Maybe, maybe not. Missiles range is that. Missile range is now this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he sees the artillery piece, not the missile at the moment. Maybe a good idea. Right now, Hatter sees quite a bit of stuff there. It's probably a good idea to charge forth the recon spot as much as can. Maybe. Does that. Gets a free hit there on the infantry and spots everything, including the missile. So if that was ever in doubt, it's no longer in doubt whether or not he spotted it. Sidewinder? Sidewinder. And this may just crush Grim one well-placed charge. Battlecopter goes down. Tank is knocked out, goes down. Neo tank charges forward, and Grim was not aware of the existence of Neo tank. Artillery piece goes down. Infantry takes on infantry. There goes the anti-air. Medium tank takes a hit. Medium tank's effectively knocked out. Missile takes 4 damage from an infantry unit. Of all the things to wound the missile, it was an infantry unit. Got a good hit there. I don't know how much damage can a Grim 6 health missile do to a battlecopter at full health. I have no idea. It's Grim with a really high power. Let's take a look. And plus the superpower, before the superpower, what does it look like? Nearly one-shots it. With the superpower, it will one-shot it. Pushing forward of infantry. Wait, there's a stealth there. What is this game? A Grim stealth. How nasty. Pausing spam B-copters for missile stealth bombers, I feel like was a misstep. Possibly. I have no idea. Well, let's see how well the Haymaker does. There goes the Battlecopter. I'm curious how much damage that would do. 130, even though it's 6 health. I think he was trying to use a missile to lock down this airport, which simply did not work. It did partially pay for itself. The stealth is going to be incredibly powerful. He does get an APC out. And stealths are usually banned in most matchups for good reason. And Grim stealth, that actually will probably be particularly nasty. You get all the firepower come by without the cost problems. Plus, you don't have to worry about retaliation damage for it being stealth, because only fighters and missiles can take it out, not anti-airs. There goes a missile there. Adder's pretty high in value. There's still 2 Neo tanks of field, but a single Grim stealth takes out the anti-air there. Finish off the infantry unit. More Neo tanks by Adder. It's been a while since I've seen this many Neo tanks on a not high funds game. Adder is down about half value, but this stealth, I have no idea how this is going to go. Battlecopter on battlecopter, tank on tank. I would recommend next turn, Grim should push forward, resupply the stealth before pushing forward, because that little extra fuel will make a difference. It burns like 7 fuel each turn, just to stay up in the air, camouflaged. We do now have a side slip available at Grim Neotank. And here I said at the beginning of the map, I don't think Grim will probably pull out a medium tank. Now he's bought both a medium and a neo tank and a stealth. This game is going crazy. Looks like Adder's trying to rotate some tanks, light tanks up here to engage some of the stuff. This Grim tank here is pose a pretty sizable threat there until these tanks arrive. Falls back a little bit there. Battlecopter on battlecopter violence. Finish off the infantry unit. Neo tank does take out the tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Side slip, maybe? Oh wait, this is Grim's turn. My mind is fried. Does resupply on this side. Could push forward, but of course it's a bit more exposed because he doesn't have much vision or any vision in this region. So safer location is probably a good idea. After all, Grim's APCs can't take a hit. Neo tank push way forward. Infantry, battlecopter, recon. Recon does make really good sense. Stealth fighter push way forward. How powerful is a Grim stealth? I'm curious. Let's take a look. Grim stealth versus Neotank on shore, no defense. Quite good. And versus the battlecopter? That's a one-shot. Because the only way you can stop the stealth is with your own stealth fighter, a fighter, or a missile. Anti-airs cannot fire up against cloaked stealths. So this stealth here is particularly nasty. It's a Grim stealth fighter. This is literally what he has in the field to help win the game. And pretty much only this. This stuff down here is far outnumbered. The stealth fighter could go around and take out some anti-airs. How well does a do versus anti-air on a forest? Considerable damage. APC push forward that may cause confusion for him. Neotank takes out the tank. We'll get a strike on the Neotank on top of a property. Of course, thanks to extra defense stars, able to withstand quite a bit of damage, but also will drain some funds next turn. Adder does not have enough money for a fighter, thanks to the fundings for the repairs. Battlecopter hits, and there's the power. One thing you can do to stop the stealth fighter is to surround him with junk stuff. At least protect his Neotanks from it somehow. Neotank engages the medium tank, takes it out. We'll do now the haymaker there. I think a knuckle duster is all he needs. Good strike there. He needs to surround the stealth fighter with the light tanks. Grim is one you have to be cautious around because he hits hard. If Adder just plays around with his power and superpower, is able to first strike his opponent, then Grim tends to have trouble. He can take a punch, but he can give a punch, but he can't take a punch. That's his whole gimmick. Plus 30% offense, minus 20% defense. It's powerful, but also a double-edged sword. And here comes the Haymaker. He is surrounded by weaker stuff. If he breaks this light tank here with 5 health, I don't know if Aether can do the job. With high luck roll, yes. He breaks himself out, gets trapped there. He has 62,000 versus opponent's 190, so he's really far behind. Quite possibly. Right now, I don't think there's a way Grim can win. He's lost too much. There's way too much economic advantage or disadvantage. And look at this. He's going to completely surround the stealth with infantry. Now the stealth is neutralized. As I mentioned, about 3 or 4 turns, the stealth will crash and because of lack of fuel. Adder's being incredibly cautious. He doesn't realize how good of a position he is. He also has to put a fire to engage the stealth. Yep. At this point in time, I'm going to just really fast forward. I don't think there's much more I can say. I think Grim or Adder has the game in the bag. Maintaining the surround of the stealth, very, very good. Tank artillery gets trapped by this 1 health recon. APC there to refuel stealth. It has 17 fuel remaining. And the fighter takes out 1 shot, also effectively knocking out the APC as well of any use. Adder's being adequately cautious, but the game is effectively over. Adder now has a side slip, goes to another Crimp stealth. He has to be careful with the fighter, but the stealth can get some decent damage onto the fighter. 72%. Let's just say he has a Knuckle Duster, and his power would potentially give him the 1 shot. Yeah, Grim's getting cleaned on up. Camouflage atop the HQ, gets trapped by the recon. Couple light tanks. And takes a stealth there with the fighter. Yep, game's pretty much over. Yep, I'm just going to fast forward pretty much. Adder does use a superpower there. Annihilation victory in hand. I see only a handful of units remaining. And that is the end of the game. All complete annihilation. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see what next replay. I'll just pull this off the side because I tend to notice that it does spoil a little bit if I once I initially load it. Oh, that was the replay I forgot to delete. Let's see now. Here we go. Get this one all lined on up. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's on the side. Actually, it looks all pretty fine on... I don't need to make any adjustments to the stream itself. So, perfect. Don't have to worry about that. Stream chat window's adequate size. Yep, it looks like everything's good. So, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Jade Sun Andy, we got the Fang. Spawn on the south side as the... what's this one called again? Azure Asteroid. Drake, we got Hudge. Drake, of course, does have +1 movement on naval units, plus defense for naval units, and loses 30% less attack on air units. So, his battle clubs are weak, particularly weak, but still can be usable. On this map, there are airports next to some comm towers. This is 4 comm towers in total on this map. 2 ports here. Probably won't see much usage. A lot of shores here, so only transports can get up here to transport. No battleship way up there, nor glorious carriers. Got a triple base map as well. 1, 2, 3. Of course, 1 is neutral. This base can play towards the weak side, but it's mostly meant to support this side here, the neutral one. So it's going to be like strong side, weak side mechanic. These amount of properties, these amount of roads, these amount of trees, forests. So either way, of course, I probably should mention Andy has no day-to-day. And I always forget as well, Andy's superpower does provide increased move speed, while the regular power does not, right? Yep. Hyper repair plus 2 health, hyper upgrade plus 5 health, plus 10% attack, plus 1 movement. Drake's course is just a global damage from rain and fuel drain, which all is pretty nice. So let's go and get started. Got some infantry units on the field. Multiple properties being captured on up. Got a initial tank to what about Drake? His ground units are utterly ordinary, which is good for him. No positives, no negatives. Like Andy. Andy does not appear to have deployed out a tank just yet. He's actually stockpiling a decent amount of money. What is he eyeing? Tank up here, infantry. So he's going to apply a tank to counter his opponent's tank. He does have ever slight better economy, but I see a lot of projects being captured by Drake now. C4 can be captured this turn, which does include 1 comm tower. Another tank deployed by Drake over here. He's going to try to apply some aggression on the strong side, which makes sense. It is, of course, the strong side. More tanks deployed by Andy on the weak side. First strike there interrupts the capture, and looks like he's going to try to flip one of Andy's properties as well. Does interrupt another capture there, but could receive a first strike in turn. But there's another tank here to support as well, so Andy's will have trouble here. And also has not captured this comm tower here, while Drake has. So Drake does have a little extra firepower. Goes for the interrupt of the capture of his own property. Doesn't finish off, but gets some good damage there. This tank is out of range. Infantry push, and this one could be in range. This infantry goes down, so it goes here. Then here, be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Engage the tank here, but then he'll be double tapped by the other tank. More tanks up here. Good strike there. Another tank over here as well. Infantry unit does go down. He drops to capture the comm tower, so he's not going to stop this tank. Of course, this tank is a little out of position now. We'll have trouble hitting this tank thanks to not only picking up this infantry unit there, but also body blocking there. Very nice. More tanks spoiled by Drake. Takes out the infantry unit there. Tank on tank violence. Another tank here, but we've got more tanks here, so it's going to be very messy very quick. 80's Hyper Repair can keep him going. Well, of course, Drake's Tsunami and Typhoon will keep his opponent down. And we've got an artillery piece up here as well. Right hit there on the unit. Stops the capture of that comm tower. Good strike there. We'll finish off. Could see double tank push forward. It's going to get messy very quick. I don't think Andy can pull out a win up here, though Hyper Repair could help even that out. Take some damage and then keep on going. 6 capture progress left there, so he has 3 turns to stop that capture. Good strike there. Another tank push right forward. We've got 2 healthy tanks. So yeah, Andy should be fine. All depends. That tank could get hit. This tank could get hit, so maybe not. It all comes down to the Hyper Repair, probably. In fact, if both these tanks get hit, he may have access to a Hyper Repair to help. And from there, who knows what will happen. Most time, Andy doesn't deploy a Hyper Repair, but that's maybe one of the exceptions. I say you should not always, you should probably avoid going for it, but it doesn't mean you should not deploy it sometimes. It has a purpose. Drake does have a decent property advantage of 2,000, trying to flip some properties as well. 4 capture progress here, so we need to take quite a bit of abuse to stop that one, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be flipped. Tank goes down. So we've got the artillery piece pushing forward up here. Hyper Repair can help it withstand some basic machine gun fire. Interrupts the capture there. Interrupts that capture, so a Hyper Repair could continue it. I have a feeling there's a possibility a Hyper Repair could be good this turn. Takes 2 damage in return. Could try popping in a turn. Who? Guess we'll wait and see if he does. He does pop it there. Did he? There we go. He can capture that one. No interrupt there. Could see a Tsunami in return. Usually want to see wait till Typhoon, but Tsunami could be perfectly fine since the opponent just popped the Hyper Repair. Tank up there. We'll see a Tsunami. That would be something you want to pop almost immediately, unless you want to get a little bit of power charge. And just pulls back there, so he's not going to pop Tsunami. Another tank. A lot of tanks over here. Problem is, going for a medium tank will also means you're a bit more vulnerable to the Typhoon. Trying to flip some properties there, trying to flip 2 properties. Maybe we can go for a swipe with the comm tower and actually get that secure. May want to get a tank here to prevent the capture. I don't think charging for the tanks to damage this guy here would be a good idea. Nope. So there's going to be interrupt next turn. If he kept the tank there, that probably would have been not a good idea as well. This could easily get double tapped. Medium tank up there. He just need to get his Hyper Repair before his opponent gets his superpower. 2 properties being flipped. If he can't interrupt them, he may need to pop the Tsunami. He popped the Tsunami. That interrupts 1, 2, 3 important captures. Of course, Andy could try squeezing out a hyper repair, but I don't think that's really feasible. Pulls back these tanks to get repaired enough. I disagree with that. He should have kept on the front line, because now they're going to be basically knocked out for the turn. And maybe next turn as well, but they do have good mobility for defense. Pulls back these two guys actually is a bit more understandable. These seems too far back to me. Tank, infantry, tank. Not as I support out Blackbolt just yet. Because capturing the comm tower and the airport will both be very important. Stops that capture entirely. Those two properties do not get flipped. Multiple Drake artillery, that's interesting. There's a lot of shores here, so there's no choke point for the artillery. Possibly, but 20 fuel is still a significant amount. 22 and 24 fuel, that's still can move 20 tiles. Tanks don't usually live that long, so I don't think that's going to be a massive issue. Plus, you can always, if the tanks do run out of fuel, they're probably going to be a bit wounded. They could just merge them together. Yeah, I don't think that would have been warranted. But they're fully healed, reinforced. This comm tower will be captured first. Hopefully, he captures it first. Let's see if he does. Yes, he does. Artillery piece gets a good shot. Tank on tank violence. Finish off that unit there, going for the capture. Andy is slightly behind. He is still relying on day-to-day funds, so still can go either way. Medium tank push way forward. Tanks rotating over. Looks like he's going to try to engage this stuff up here. There's a lot of tanks. Drake has a lot of tanks still alive in the field. And he does have a good number of tanks here. I've also been hitting by some frame rate issues. I think because since I have so much on to processor, if I were to do that, that should help out with that. May reduce the quality of my avatar, but that'd be fine enough. Threading this comm tower, flipping that could be very nice. This property also needs to be interrupted. This guy could get the interrupt, possibly. Does not. Here's how likely it is to interrupt that. Yeah, could have got the interrupt. That probably would have been a good idea. Try and attempt to flip multiple properties. More tanks, infantry. Drake is right now ahead by 4,000 income, which is a significant amount. Anti-tank does go down there. Interrupts the capture of the comm tower. Though he pops a hyper repair, that would not be interrupt. But that would be a bit more difficult getting a hyper repair. He's almost set to a hyper upgrade, that's for sure. But hyper, get those names background all too much. He needs a superpower in order to not interrupt that capture. Which is easier said than done. You would need another 32,000 damage done, or taken, or 64,000 damage done, which is not likely to happen this turn. Though a joint capture is probably possible. Great shots there. These tanks are making good progress. Now I can start threatening multiple properties over here. There's also still a couple despicable neutral properties. Does pull back capture this. I'm not going to try to join capture. Trying to fall back, solidify a defensive line. The piece is running low on fuel, has plenty ammo though. Tank, tank, tank. That was a tiny bit of power charge there. Sacks infantry unit for a bit of power charge. And ever so slight amount of power charge. But now got the tsunami. Now I suppose now the artillery piece down to 8 fuel. That's a bit of a problem. But Andy will get his hyper upgrade likely next turn. Taking out the medium tank is important. Very good. Construct the capture. Very good. There's this hyper upgrade now available. You could get some units damage before it actually launches it, but also launching it. I close out that one window. There we go. Provides some +5 health, 10% attack, and 1 movement. A little bit of a mixed bag of stuff. It could be very nice. We'll stop the infantry from capturing that point. Also, the movement is probably very important as well. So to not only get himself restored, +1 movement even on infantry is very nice. Let's see. When will he pop it? Will he take some shots first and then pop it, or what? Artillery gets the first shot there. That is something I would assume he will pop second. Because getting that thing restored and getting +10% firepower could have knocked out, unless he's not planning to use it this turn. Okay, pops it now. There's a good number of tanks here. Don't think, and there's not enough tanks here, though. We do have +1 movement on this guy. This guy's gonna charge forward. Maybe hit the artillery. Maybe hit the tank. Probably the tank, actually, or maybe not. Not sure. Let's find out. Pick your poison. Gets a good shot there on the artillery piece. Good around hitting some of these outlying tanks. Starting some captures there. This comm tower could be flipped, which is going to be very important. Right now, Andy has a slight advantage. Drake has no power charge. Unlikely to possibly gets a tsunami, but unlikely. And with his day-to-day income, they are relatively even, so it's right now just day-to-day difference. Of course, right now, Andy's tank is +20% attack, +10% defense. Getting a lot of good strikes there. And surprised enough, the central column and airport have not been touched. That's actually pretty weird. Usually by now there's a black boat at least. So in other words, Andy still does not know when airport is. Artillery piece with 4 fuel remaining, being sent back for refuel. There's a good number of tanks here, so Andy has to be careful from. Taking some outlying infantry. Good strike there. This tank has 4 health, so yeah, now the multiple typhoons starting to really drain the fuel of these tanks. They're about to run out of steam or fumes. Flipping some of these properties, very nice. And he does have a slight economic advantage. It did actually manage to capture his comm tower, so he does have 2 comm towers for his opponent's 0. That's not as size capture of airport or comm tower. Neo tank deployed on the field by Andy. And there's a tsunami. So now these tanks, this lack of fuel is starting to really add up. 10, 2 fuel, so this guy can only reach the city. Honestly, should not attack that tank. It has 2 fuel remaining. It is not. He could just simply let it be. I disagree with that attack. He could have let it be. He could have moved right there, engaged one of these tanks here, no problem. Maybe a good idea for Andy to start merging some of these tanks. Not only the excess health will also be refunded. Over tank infantry. Good damage there. Finishing off some of his outlying tanks. Good shot there. I think he's going for a hyper repair this turn. But that's just a guess. Accurate guess, I would say. It's good damage there. And great, got a spam bot. Please give me a moment. I should really make that site flagged as automatic ban. And I'll get my macros back there. There we go. Maybe you were right about him pulling out those tanks for fuel as well. But still, also an APC could have been nice for Andy, though that would be a bit of investment and has not run out of vehicles with any fuel just yet. So some of these infantry units are starting to get a little bit tired. How does an infantry unit get down to 2 fuel? How? Man, this guy knows leg day. 20 fuel, 16 fuel. He is on the property, so he'll get a nice burger to get him fueled on up. Medium tank now deployed on the field. Infantry, infantry. So there's of course now 2 Neo tanks on the field, 1 medium tank. Tank will take up the artillery piece. Drake's losing multiple artillery pieces there. Infantry unit or tank down here just causing issues. Does do a bit of a merge there. Overall, Andy's playing this game quite well. He is starting to get a full turn ahead. And is going to body block Neo Tank to save his Neo Tank. And maybe worth to also heal up. If Neo Tank gets the first strike on Neo Tank, maybe a good idea to go for the Hyper Repair just to repair up the Neo Tank after fighting the Neo Tank with the Neo Tank shot. Okay, that joke didn't really land all too well. Multiple tanks full on the field by Andy now. Andy does have a 2,000 income advantage. And we do have a property being flipped there. He has 11 progress left. Another property over here with 10 progress left. I just realized something as well. I said he could probably send a tank of a factory over here to sort of the weak side, but there's actually 2 mountains there. So you have to use a lander to get transport stuff, or a black boat for infantry. Oops, missed that part at the beginning of the match. My apologies. This tank has 2 fuel left. It may need to merge another tank onto it. Yeah, good number of these tanks actually low on fuel. Only thing that has fuel is the full health tank. Now this guy has 1 fuel remaining. Merge the 2 fuel tank up here. He will have 1 fuel remaining. So maybe a good idea for this 5 health tank to merge into the 5 health tank. So Andy's assault may stall out due to a lack of fuel. What is this, war game? Does merge the 2 5 health tanks together, so now it has 25 fuel. This 9 health tank still has 2 fuel. While the Sentinel property is a decent defensive position, he can always project himself a little bit. Good number of tanks down the field. Medium tank will push into the range of the artillery piece, which is not super great. Yep, that'll be a pretty good strike there. He may eye for a tsunami this turn. The amount of fuel drain some of these tanks have, it's actually would be quite important. This tank has 1 fuel remaining. He could try ignoring that. And here comes Tsunami. Does get first strike there. Hyper prepared up a little bit. If he can manage to squeeze out a hyper upgrade, that could be very useful, and then his Neo tank could get a good counter strike there. Feels like Andy's starting to disintegrate a little bit. Oh, he tried. Let's see. You said that about 5 minutes ago. Sorry, I missed that part. Oh, he tired. Oh, I am horrible at reading. I understand that feeling. I think I got 10,000 steps each day this work day this week. My legs are hurting right now. Neo tank does fall back. Another Neo tank followed by Andy. I don't know, it just feels like Andy's behind. But Andy does have decent number of tanks here. And does still have 2 both comm towers. This has 10 capture progress left for a 7 health tank unit. I think it's going to come down to Andy's next hyper upgrade. So that tank will be fully healed, but won't be able to project anywhere. One capture progress here, just needs to stay alive. I think a hyper upgrade will pop next turn, and I'll put this medium Neo tank at full health with +1 movement range and additional firepower. Ooh, I don't think that's a good spot for the Neo tank, because now this Neo tank will be fully repaired and will smash into the sky. I think that was a wrong call there. Now let's see, when will he pop it? Immediately? This will also allow him to reach this infantry unit there to stop the capture of that comm tower. Let's see. Pushes forward, try and get some damage done to his own stuff. Or just makes a hole right there. No need to go all the way around. Sometimes just smash your head through the wall. Full health tank goes back to the city for some fuel. And now threatening the HQ won't be a massive threat. You can push this tank down there a little bit, but nothing too much. And the artillery piece got a pretty nice little repair as well. What was that 2? Now it's 7, so it's still quite usable. The irony of the guy playing as the Italian influence army suffers from a lack of supplies. Quite possibly. It is Jade Sun, which leads to be more Chinese. Actually, I think we can look that up. Or maybe not. Is that Italian? I think it's... Not sure. Jade Sun sounds almost Chinese to me, but I do see like the flares in the back, so we're gonna take a look what's actually supposed to be inspiration. But it would be quite funny. Second, good number of tanks there for his power charge there. And here comes Tsunami, which also will interrupt the capture. And resigns there. Oh, either way, looks like Andy still does not know when an airport is. And either way, there's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Yeah, let's see what the... whatchamacallit. Let's see, custom mine, free to play, map, maybe some profile. There's all design maps. There's a little menu to show you what all is based on what. I like all the fancy color designs there. Free to play, see them more. Custom link. Favorites, following. Oh well, it's somewhere. I'm not gonna be real concerned about that. Alright, just give me a moment to find the next replay and keep it hidden since the last turn just briefly exposed. Let's see. Yep. I think they're Roman. There is a Chinese one, warmer color, I think. I'm not sure. I can't really say it top of my head. There's a list of everything. I just can't remember where to look that up. Chinese one. What would it be like? Acid rain? Perhaps not. Yeah, either way. I can worry about letter. Let's see. Let's adjust the map size and, of course, the frame. Like that. Increase the size even more. My tails can cover up the corner. That's perfectly fine. And probably the wiki, probably somewhere. It's one of those things like I'm in streaming mode. I don't feel like really slowing down. Let's see, chat window slightly smaller and oh wait, I just realized something. I'm an idiot. Gotta get the whatchamacallit, this part here in proper size. But I may be able to stretch it out this way. That should be good enough. Whoops. Fix the chat window so it's easy to read, and there we go. Now let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the top side as the Lash Orange Stars. We got Red Panda Magic. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Cobalt Andy. We got Lucy Freya, in which that's red, but playing Orange Star. Let's fix that. Red Fire. Now Lash is British. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see this map. We do have a neutral airport and base over here. So we have slow capturing. Both players start with 2 bases. A river next to this one. Missile silo cities. A lot of roads right here, but everything else is relatively forested and plain, so not great for recons. Airport, of course, in the corner of the map. Base will probably be something that they'll immediately go for here. They'll take 1, 2, 3 turns just to reach, so not great. But yeah, I have a feeling 3 turns away, they may not immediately go for it. Guess we'll find out soon enough, so let's find out now. We got infantry there. Yep, they're both immediately going for the base, which is not a big surprise. Capturing out multiple properties. Going for the airport now. Oh, there's 2 airports. So 3 bases, 2 airports, and of course 1 seaport. But the seaport's probably not going to be useful at all. Maybe at most a battleship or carrier here, but still very, very unlikely. Especially on a standard funds map. Lash tank now advancing. We do have the Lash tank here. Oh, that was the anti-tank. Anti-tank going pretty far forward. I think the last game I cast with Lash, she was Cobalt Blue. By the way, we've got a pair of tanks here. Oh, and did my internet die again? Or it's just Advanced Wars by web? Okay, I can see the interrupt on my live stream, so it is in fact a issue involving Advanced Wars by web. And actually, now I'm looking back at the screen in front of me, and I don't see the interruption there. Yeah. I could see use for a port if those Days of Ruins and ships could go past bridges. Yep. But of course, that's not Days of Ruin. There's also, if you're curious about any Days of Ruin stuff, there's also Tiny Wars. I have cast some replays and released them on my channel, if you want to take a look at them. Now I've got multiple Lash tanks here. Anti-tanks on top of the city. Actually, there's also a river there. This tank is in range, though. I always forget the shores are existing. They do blend into the map quite well. Multiple comm towers being captured now. Battlecopter pulled up by Andy. He's figured out what an airport is. Everybody run! Do have a tank here, but if he attacks here, she attacks there, it will be not great. Plus, there's also another tank for retaliation. Yeah, I always enjoyed Advanced Wars. I've been trying to mix up some of my content lately, because some of the stuff I'm starting to get burnt out a little bit. And so I was like, you know what, Advanced Wars. There's not been any good RTSs lately. I'm also somewhat holding out for the Stellaris 4.0 update, in which that should be pretty fun. It's one of those things like I just sort of... There just hasn't been any good games lately, in my opinion. Or at least any good games I'm actually interested in. But there's also not been too many good games in general, even across all genres, even the ones I'm not interested in. Good hit there on the infantry unit, does get the interrupt. We do have a battlecopter here. What got purchased? Tank, infantry. Good hits there. Infantry moving around. Another tank push way forward, gets a good strike here. Good attack. Lash has quite a bit of damage on these tanks here. Great shots there. Andy looks like he's taking pretty good lead so far when it comes to field presence. Anti-air will cause him problems, but he has a tank to deal with the Lash anti-air. Battlecopter here, but of course battlecopter versus battlecopter, which does tend to favor the battlecopter. Takes on infantry unit there. What was being built? Battlecopter deployed by Lash. Tank, infantry. Good strike there. Almost enough for hyper repair, which we may or may not see. This is 3 bases, 2 airports, so probably see more hyper upgrades and repairs, but who knows. It's always a good idea to have a possibility using the power, but of course, you should probably more eye the superpower for as Andy. And for Lash, her power and superpower are just not great, honestly. Her power is far too expensive what it provides for, and her superpower is really not that great, because you look at it, think about her superpower. If it's on the plains, you get +1 defense star, so you get plus 10% attack and defense. For a 7-star superpower, not great. On a forest, you get +20/+20. That's okay, but still a bit expensive for 7 stars. On a city, you get +30/+30, but still, actually still not worth 7 stars. In comparison to Kombai, who's also 7 stars, is +50/+40, but then again, that's also Kombai. But still, I think Lash's power should be shrunk down to either 3 or 2 stars. Her superpower should be shrunk down to at least 6, maybe even 5 stars in total. Of course, once you start introducing balance changes to one CO, then you're going to have to introduce balance changes for many other COs. So I understand why Advanced Warrior Web doesn't really want to add in more balance changes. Then merge there, tank heading down south. Battlecopter, tank, mech, interesting. Mech can at least sprint across the river and get a good strike. Battlecopter and Battlecopter violence. We've got a hyper repair available. A lot of damage stuff, but nothing really worth it, I would say. Mostly infantry just damaged. This Battlecopter could receive a shot from the Battlecopter, however there's also a Battlecopter there to engage that Battlecopter if he strikes the Battlecopter with the Battlecopter. Yes. Artillery piece there, we've got a tank right here, which could receive a strike. There's also force here, so if Lash gets her superpower, it can help her project onto the city. And now it's starting to threaten the comm tower down here, very nice. Tank here can interrupt, so maybe put some units to block it there. It's going to be assaulted by 2 angles, so it's probably going to get interrupted. Good strike there on the Battlecopter. She has 2 Battlecopters in the region, so Andy's starting to lose out over there. And here engaging the infantry unit. Sacks the 1 health infantry unit, not necessarily a good idea. Finish it off with the mech, though. I wonder. Need a high luck roll, though that 1 infantry unit probably put it down to 55% probably. So maybe that 1 health infantry unit did play a role to help edge a slight advantage with its mech to successfully get the pick there. So that may be what went on there. Just squeezed out a little bit more firepower there just to weigh the luck odds more in his favor, or her favor. Tank, infantry. Oh, there's a battle coming in the right corner. Yep, that capture gets interrupted. That one gets picked off there. There's no way the comm tower will be captured. Does get a good strike on the infantry unit and picks it off. Probably could have rotated around a little bit. Of course, be a bit more exposed, but help project forward. Anti-air back here. Tank, infantry, tank, Battlecopter. Hyper upgrade's almost available. Prime Tactics almost available. Lash would definitely like to pop our Prime Tactics before Andy's hyper upgrade, as extra defense will help her weather a storm, counterattack storm. Great strike there. Gotta make sure you finish off Andy units, because hyper upgrade's now online. Looks like she will not get her superpower this turn. We'll have to weather Andy's plus 10% attack and movement speed. You're just gonna have to wound this stuff first to make any value out of the repair ability. It may be a good idea from just not to pop his power this turn. Battlecopter's in range of Battlecopter. He pops immediately. I don't think that was a good idea. Plus, the superpower for plus 10% attack, or technically with an additional plus 10, so plus 20% attack and 1 movement speed is nice and all, but maybe not. It's a good strike there. The 1 movement speed is very nice though. And Lash now has a prime tactics. Takes the Battlecopter with the anti-air. So it looks like Lash is starting to disintegrate up here. So I think the plus 1 movement is actually what making the superpower very useful for Andy right now. Because it feels like he's starting to sweep up Lash a little bit. So as money spent, so he's ahead by about 2 turns right now. There's good shots there. Here comes a prime tactics. So now the tank will have a lot of firepower and defense. Retaliation strike there. Takes that one out. Mech versus anti-air. Went not great, but still probably decent. We'll finish off that tank there. Battlecopter hit the tank, but Battlecopter hit in return. At least her reinforcement push pretty far forward, allowing them to ignore all the force that's spreading in movement. Good strike there. Another Battlecopter, infantry. Tank. Double defense means it will be hard to display some of these tanks and these properties. Somebody got captured or being captured. Tank hit the infantry. Another good hit there from the artillery piece. Couple Battlecopters. Anti-air. Tank anti-air. Lander loaded on up. Lash sort of pulled back a little bit there. Tank merged. Lash is a turn still. Good number of Battlecopters here, which Battlecopters are not affected by prime tactics or any of her passives. Almost they're on top of an airport. Mech deploy on the field. A Lash rocket. Maybe to put in the city there and bombard and protect this flank. There's still a handful of despicable neutral properties here. Just these 2 cities though. This property will be flipped next turn. And that will make him have a slight advantage. Good shot onto that tank there. Rocket could sacrifice building on the base there to get a good shot, but these Battlecopters are in the region. Though this anti-air, but if she pushes forward, it can only go to this force here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if the Battlecopters position themselves here, they'll be safe enough. Or have some protection. Pushes forward down here, that's probably a good spot, so now the Battlecopters can push forward and engage these tanks a little bit easier. Finish out the Battlecopter there. Trying to flip a property here, and this neutral property being captured as well as this one. We'll push forward. There is not enough coverage there, so one of these Battlecopters will go down. Likely both Battlecopters will be knocked out, one from the anti-air, one from the other Battlecopter. So we do have this Battlecopter ready for retaliation. Good strike there. Artillery piece pushed forward. Tank getting repaired on up. More anti-airs pushed forward. Got a decent number of tanks here. Right now at basically 27,000, or basically 130,000 value right now. Lash has approximately 115, so she's still down about a turn. We'll max up here. Does not take out the infantry on top of the mountain. Rocket? I guess the rocket wants to avoid the battle copters, I guess. Yeah, I don't think the rocket was a good call. I can understand if you want to try to push it forward thanks to a prime tactics or terrain tactics. Help get past those forests, but there's no way a rocket can easily get back up here quickly. Of course, there's also a good number of battle copters in the field. Hyper upgrade right there. How much damage did he repair up? Not a whole lot of damage. Armoring out this 1 health infantry unit. A +1 movement will go a long way, especially his infantry units. They'll make them go longer ways. We're probably going to see prime tactics next turn. Tank will go down. Bomber by Andy. Oh. Here comes prime tactics. And thanks to the perfect movement, he's able to range that battlecopter quite easily. Good strikes there. Rocket pushed way forward. He sees protection. Maybe could have pushed forward over down here, provide some more coverage as well as project more southwards. Granted, the forest would result in extra firepower. Infantry, medium tank. But this bomber's on the field now. Oops, sorry, I hit my microphone. Bomber's in good position there, out of range of the anti-air, though 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, can't be ranged. So this bomber could get a first strike on top of an anti-air. Got a medium tank now on the field, helps stabilize this any sort of advance in this region. What was that? Oh, finished off with the rocket. Okay. Interrupts the capture there. Andy does have a sizable economic advantage now. Anti-air. More mechs. Lash mechs are nice and all, plus it's also 3-star terrain as well as next to this 4-star terrain for the mech. Here comes a bomber, nukes an infantry unit. And the bomber is out of range of these anti-airs, including if there's a prime test, since it's just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the bomber's out of range of the anti-air, so that's a good move there. Not a great target for the bomber, but still adequate enough. And sometimes you can take what you can get. More battlecopters, and we also got India Recon. Guess I'm gonna try to gauge some mechs with that. Don't know how that will go. It can go from either very good or very poorly. No real in between in this situation. Lash is still down by a turn. Of course, with our economic disparity, that's not great. First strike on the medium tank of the battlecopter, getting a decent hit. We've got all these forces before this base is now under threat. Next, getting some good strikes there. Tank does engage the anti-air. Artillery piece gets knocked out. So Lash has now a bit of breathing room. Getting good strike. Now it's probably time for a hyper repair. I don't think we can get a hyper upgrade, but there's a lot of damage stuff there. One less damage thing there. I'm thinking hyper repair. Probably not. These tanks won't be enough to deal with the medium tank. Artillery piece will be at 3 health rather than 1. Would be more and more useful now. If we can somehow squeeze a hyper upgrade, that could be quite useful. And he's making great gains up here, and so has his full money can spend, as well as a slight advantage. So Lash is probably down by a turn and a half now. She may need to pop terrain tactics this. Nope, decided to pop the resign button this turn. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I'll probably have time for one more replay tonight. My voice is starting to go out a little bit. It's Friday, I can stay up a little bit later via caffeine, but I can only stay up too late. And of course, my voice can only carry me for so much longer. Another Lash game? Let's not do another Lash game. That one could be decent. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think this was a good one I was wanting to cast. Yeah, let's do this one. And looks like the placement, or nope, I still need to fix some of this stuff. Bring it down a little bit. There we go. Expand. That should be decent. Maybe move over to the center a little bit. Yeah, that should be decent enough. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the bottom side as the... Wait, is that, yeah, so as south side as the Jade Sun Kindle. We got Jasop on the north side as the Acid Rain Grim. We got Atof, which both of them names well enough. Either way, this map is a Fog War map. Looks like both players do start off with single bases. Both players do start off a 1 HP cruiser here, so you're just there to stop a random, probably Sammy infantry charging forward and capturing it, and generally any other infantry units just charging forward and trying to capture it. There is a decent number of shores nearby, and that is a full sea tile there. See, there is a port here, mostly meant for a lander. Pipe seam here to prevent any more mobility. So, and we also got a neutral base here as well. So it looks like 3 base, 1 airport, possible lander play. Do you see comm towers here? Central lab, which won't make a difference, just provides a 3-star property. But yeah, that appears to be just it. The airport is also behind a pipe scene, so that has to be broken or has to fly a long way around. So yeah, this is sort of interesting. Overall, hard to say exactly how those play. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. A lot of properties, so maybe Kindle's High Society could be useful. Kindle's has plus 40% firepower on urban terrain, which is everything that's listed there. Nothing more, nothing less. Though I always view her ability is not say offensive, defensive, but a retaliatory one. So if something's sitting on your property, one of your own properties, such as a infantry unit or a tank, or really any property, you're forced off the, you can pull it back off that tile, put something else in there, and strike back hard. I still just view it as a retaliation bonus. Grim, of course, gets plus 30% attack and lose 20% defense, so he is the all-out specialist. He likes to punch stuff, but he can't take a punch. I mean, his superpower is called Knuckle Duster and Haymaker. He punches real hard. We do have now a Kindle Recon there. That could be interesting. Double recon by Kindle, that's interesting. You got nothing out of the sword for Grim. Transport copter, that's interesting. And goes for recon. Got a tank reported by Kindle. There's like a number of properties there, so Kindle's a property, both Urban Blight and I think High Society could make appearance this game. A lot of possibility. I think her passive, power, and superpower are all going to be very useful on this map. Grim's, his power and superpower, and day-to-day is always super useful. But of course, it is a double-edged sword. Kindle's Recon does have decent spotting this year. Could perhaps get a good shot on anything places. Do know as well, the spent missile silos are not considered urban property, though comm towers or labs, yeah, labs are considered urban, while the spent missile platforms are not. So she will get bonus from here. Multiple tanks now being employed in the field by Kindle. Got a Grim artillery piece here. Grim's artillery pieces will hit hard, very hard. Got a Grim battlecopter, another artillery piece there. And those get trapped by Kindle's Recon. I think Kindle's tank could get a good shot there. No firepower bonuses, but it will probably knock it out one shot because minus 20% defense. Dear God, how powerful. Plus 40% attack versus something that has minus 20% defense. If those situations popped up, Grim will just disintegrate. Like that recon. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, infantry. Well, Grim's not going for a comm tower, as well as Kindle. Though I have a feeling that's actually less important this game, but it will make the fights even more extreme, possibly. Tank by infantry. Grim has a slight economic advantage. You remember as well, the cruiser does find a decent amount of vision around it. Let's see, more tanks spotted by Grim. Does spot the Grim artillery piece. Ooh, and gets trapped by the infantry unit in the forest. That is going to be a dead tank probably, or basically knocked out. So Grim will take a nice early lead with that shot. Put it down to 1 health. I'm curious how much that would have left. Roll a middling luck roll at least. Which is that's all you can really ask for, as long as it didn't roll minimum to do only 8 damage. If she does finish it off. Kindle's recon here is trapped and nothing to retaliate against it. So Grim has a pretty sizable front here and has decent amount of units up here. Recon, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Let's see, Kendall has a small economic advantage now. Looks like Grim could catch up one property, but that could be interrupted. But there's an artillery piece there, suggesting you shouldn't interrupt it. If Kendall's going to interrupt it, probably best use the recon rather than the tank. But she may not. Plus the recon's on the top of the forest, providing some excellent vision there. Anti-air there. Finish off the infantry unit, might as well. Battlecopter, anti-air, recon, infantry. Recon gets finished off by a tank rather than trying to take out with the infantry and recon. Another battlecopter. Tank, anti-air, infantry. At essential property, this does absolutely nothing. Lab provides 0 income. Let's get a strike onto the infantry unit. We'll finish off. And thanks to Grim's less defense, that infantry unit just could not stay alive. Does sack our own infantry unit up north. Getting pretty close to Urban Blight. We'll probably see Urban Blight whenever she can. Also increased our firepower up to what? 80% or 70%. I just want to double check. My apologies. Let's see, does her power boost up her firepower to 80%. We set that infantry unit there, trying to flip the properties. Number of properties being flipped up there. Right now the economy is the same. We've got a property trying to be flipped here, which could be interrupted by those infantry units. Does not, however. So Kendall will flip a property next turn. Anti-air, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So helicopter out of range. Though actually no, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, T-copter can be destroyed and then this capture will be stopped. This capture probably will complete. More battle comes from Republic Grim. He's going to make sure his battlecopter production is a maximum. Because battlecopter has good glass cannons, and Grim just makes them even more glass cannon. Wait, what? Oh, property attack. Look at that. Granted, 99 to 109%. Property attack versus Grim infantry on a river. Now that's a one-shot. And that's not a one-shot. That was easy one-shot. After all, that was also on top of property. Looks like capture was interrupted up here. Maybe too far forward. It is on top of 3 defense stars. In actuality, if he double taps this tank next to this property, Graham has to be careful not to take fights next to properties, or try to avoid it when he can, because then that would be a dead tank. The Recon should have good vision, should have that tank spotted. Kindle's weird. You have to fight away from properties, or be on top to make sure you're on top of the said property. If you fight next to properties, you are going to get hit hard. And it won't be a bitch slap from her. It's probably something involving long fingernails clawing at you. That's how I sort of view it. That's sort of how... Isn't there like Urban Bright's effect, like it's a slash thing? Right? On the cartridge? I can't remember. Both Haymaker, or not Haymaker, Knuckle Duster and Urban Blight are now available. So, rather than bitch slap, it would be a bitch slash. Either way, you get the idea. Right now, Grim has effectively 160,000 versus 150,000, so Grim has a slight advantage. Urban Blight wouldn't be half bad. She may be not eyeing Urban Blight. She may probably end the turn, try to get as much power generation before. There's a comm tower there, so we get a massive booster strike there, but that's about it. That'd be taking out infantry unit. Recon did it without the power. Join capture as well, down to 7. Popping the Urban Blight at the end of turn is probably not a bad idea. Try to generate as much power charge as possible, so the next Urban Blight will be early. Urban Blight. Yep, Urban Blight the last... oh, still a couple things can move. Next turn there. Causes some economic damage. There goes the Battlecopter. We could see a Knuckle Duster, but I think, or maybe Haymaker in the near future, but I don't think Haymaker is really necessary. It's hard to make usage of plus 80% firepower. Plus 50% firepower is usually plenty enough. Artillery piece almost got knocked out. Was that a bad luck roll? It could be the plus defense, 10% defense from day to day for Kindle to help him out. Need a relatively high luck roll to finish it off. But it's pretty much knocked out. Some of these captures will be stopped entirely. As we're going about the power, he has significant amount of power charge for his next Knuckle Duster, so he may be able to follow up next turn with another Knuckle Duster, depending how his next turn goes. He will end the turn with 66,000 in value. Kindle will start the turn with approximately 140,000. So she is starting to fall a little bit behind. Good strike there. Tank falls back. I hear Battlecopter in the field. Battlecopter goes down. Couple good little picks there. Grim Battlecopters are very important. Though he will have some Grim artillery in range. We got the anti-airs as well. Another Urban Blight immediately upon getting it. Trying to get the +10/+10 passive. I wonder... Let's see the outcome first. Does finish off. I wonder what that looked like. 2 health. Shouldn't get too much firepower bonus, but does the luck roll just have to be reasonably high? Don't know exactly how much health it had remaining, but does finish off the anti-air. Better repairs needed, so a number of these units are getting decently wounded. And it looks like Kindle has took a slight advantage up to, let's just say, round up to 140,000. Right now, Grim's about 130. So it's back down to day to day. But Grim's getting some great hits there. Good strike there. Pops the Knuckle Duster. Here's the 1-2 punch of the Knuckle Dusters. Transportcopter just trying to block the road, which will stop the anti-air or the Battlecopter. Battlecopter and Battlecopter violence. He's a great damage across the front line. Tank, tank. Infantry. At 100, got 94,000. Grim ended the turn approximately 130. So it looks like Kindle's down by approximately 10,000. So half a turn, she's about behind that. Use the infantry unit to put a shot there on the T-copter and then the anti-air. Probably should have pushed forward a little bit with the infantry unit. I'm not sure. Let's see. Something got partials there. I'm not sure what it was. Good strike there on the tank. Lab could be captured next turn, or this turn. Good property attack there on that recon. Did interrupt her own capture. Capturing that up entirely is not important. Let's see, Grim took quite a losses there. He's down about to 110 versus Kindle's 110. So they're relatively even, just slightly behind there. Getting some good strikes there. Good strike. Another Urban Blight's now available. Let's see, any property she can really get some work done? Doesn't look like she can really edge around any particular property. Although she will flip a property this turn, evening out the income difference. That tank is actually in a really bad spot for Kindle right now. The artillery piece will get some good damage onto it though. But I think this Battlecopter needs to swing around and engage the tank. The artillery piece would be very useful. Might as well straight use it before. Now we got the booster strike there. You know, that's actually pretty good damage. Because after all, a Battlecopter right now would do a decent amount of damage. So, yeah, 3 health artillery will get 5 points of damage. Probably should use the artillery piece first. Mistakes were made. I don't, unless she wants to push it forward. I think that was a bad play. Because it got an artillery piece there, could have got good damage. That was a mistake. Because didn't have to waste a turn of a tank or of a Battlecopter. One of those two could move free. This would have got half damage onto it. So big mistake there, I would say. Picks up that tank with booster strike. I just want to point out something. It's like 200% damage. $300 damage. Sorry, I found that a little bit too humorous. Like, that's like 200% damage? No, it's 300%. I don't know. Big numbers make that battle copper go boom. Really badly. Really stupid question, just thought of something in my head. If having less health lowers your defense, lowers effects like pause defense like 3 stars of defense specialty, or at least having less health would do that. In fact, reduce effectiveness of defense. Would less health on a Grim unit make the defense negative actually less impactful? Not like that matters much, but still. Actually, there's a way to test it out. Sorry, I'm just now really curious about that. Say Anti-Air is trying to hit that without the power. It does 41 damage. So if we were to knock his health down to 2, health damage goes up. Actually, if we put that down to Rhodes, we're now 45 to 55. It does not get negative defense does not get reduced. Got it. Sorry. Sometimes you just wonder if things like that would interact. Got some units pushing up north now. Looks like Kindle's falling back a little bit there. Reorganize our forces. Number of stuff is quite wounded. She pulls him back to cities to get some healing going. Return to pull back for healing across all these units. Maybe not a bad idea. But she's lacking vision of her opponent right now, so some additional recons wouldn't be half bad. Goes for a T-Copter Artillery, Anti-Air, and Infantry. Another Knuck Duster is available. Oh, Sax's cruiser puts an infantry unit on top of it. It was probably at 1% health thanks to Urban Blight, repeated Urban Blights. I'm assuming that affects ships on top of an HQ. Let's just say that hasn't popped up on the cartridge. As it can't. Good strikes up there, though the ATR will likely go down to the artillery piece. Loads up the infantry unit into the T-Copter. Medium taking out opponent field, infantry. Of course, Knuckle Duster is still available for Grim, has a good number of battle copters and artillery pieces, as well as tanks. Another battle copter for Grim. There goes the Kindle battle copter. Good strike there on the artillery piece. Anti-Air goes down. Anti-Air tank infantry. Got a couple properties pretending to be flipped. Kindle will get this property flipped. Artillery piece gets a shot there. Anti-Air. Finish off the anti-air. Tank. Knocks out the artillery piece. Unit tank push right forward. Got some Kindle recon here. So is a Grim recon. Both of them being a little bit passive down south. Though Grim has some exposed properties that Kindle could exploit, but she only has a 3 health infantry unit in this region. 6 health is somewhat close by, but she... Oh, there's a T-Copter for pushing it forward at least. I think she recognizes this area as prime for capture. Haymaker could be brought on in, but I think another 1-2 Knuckle Duster punch wouldn't be half bad. Does 2 turns of 50% increased firepower is better than 1 turn of 80. Knuckle Duster is actually active now. One shot. One shot. One shot. Good damage. Good damage. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air, recon. Could see an urban blight here. How early? I'm not sure. Medium tank heading up north. Boosted attack there. Good strike there. Chip damage. Great strike there. Battlecopter hits the tank, not the other battlecopter, so this battlecopter can reign supreme. Maybe this anti-air should just fall back here. Goes for this battlecopter, and will be a boosted strike from the HQ, getting severe damage onto it. But Kindle's lacking some anti-air up here. Does have some battlecopters to work with. But I don't think she has enough to deal with all the battlecopters. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, infantry. Tank gets a strike on tank. Artillery piece will hit hard in return. No urban blight. She will almost have enough for a high society. Is she eyeing for high society? How much? I need to pull up the window again. How much the power level of high society again? High society, urban damage increased to 130%, which is absurd. And attack for all units increased by 3% for each owned urban terrain. And right now that would be 28 times 3%. Let's round it down to 25%. So that would be 75, 78. Wait, no. 75 plus 9. So that would be 84% increased firepower plus 10% from just popping the power. So it will result in her getting plus 94% firepower across all units. That's actually not bad. Guess we'll find out soon enough. With the our single com tower, that'd be 104% increased normal standard firepower. Kindle's high society is available, but would that sort of like Knuckle Duster or Haymaker? That would be overkill. Would it be useful? She's taking a lot of hits over here, down here. Got one battle comp to region, no anti-air to reach. I think the battlecopter should hit the battlecopter. Does. We'll finish off that battlecopter. With that high firepower, how much would a infantry unit hit a battlecopter? It's dealing with numbers so high, it will start breaking normal logic, though. It's sort of like Power of Money. Will we see her superpower? Next button. Urban Blight. Not High Society. It's probably a better call. He is really trying to capture these territories, but she doesn't realize there's actually not much threatening there. Cleans off that unit there. Recon hits the artillery piece. Can get booster strike on from this property to something. Does take out the battlecopter. Takes out the tank. Could see a booster strike. How? I'm curiosity as well. What would a booster strike look like right here? 34% damage. And you're heading up north, very needed. Neo tank. Infantry. A Neo tank down here could be very useful. I don't think Grim's deployed out a single medium tank this turn. His medium tanks would be very useful dealing with a Neo tank, such as a Knuckle Duster. Speaking of which, here's a Knuckle Duster. There goes Kindle's Battlecopter. Recon does not finish off that one. Probably should have. How unlucky was he? Probably wouldn't have got the kill there. And of course, I don't know the exact percentage of health it has. We'll finish off right there. In fact, that would have been maybe a little bit better. That would have been 4 health on 8 health, so that could have been more likely to finish off. So that may be a miss order of, well, orders. Grim will end the turn with 150. Kindle will start next turn with approximately 160, so it's still going back and forth. They're pretty well matched at the moment. But now she's trying to convert some properties. She flipped a couple, and now she has 4,000 income advantage. And also possibly increasing the power of high society if she ever goes for it. We may see an Urban Blight here. Pretty shot on the Battlecopter. Doesn't need a 300% attack there. 150%. Well, it's actually probably like 200%. It will still be plenty. Free power charge there, which is very good. Squeeze out every bit of power charge before you pop a power or superpower. If you got attacks you can squeeze out before you can do the superpower, that's great, especially when you just guarantee to get those kills either way. Now here comes Urban Blight, which will not interrupt this capture, but we're probably going to see it interrupted entirely. Kindle is lacking items down in the middle. We could see the tank and Neo tank pushing the center there. Guys, have to be careful with the artillery pieces, of course. Kindle's slowly getting some good ground in this game. I think she's slightly ahead at the moment. Let's answer turn of 160. Versus 132, so she has a turn or two ahead. We'll also have more income. Having some properties now. Grim's artilleries have been doing decent. They've been around for quite some time. You can see the Urban Blight that affected them. Tank artillery. Well, then a lot of Grim artillery. They're nice and all. Though, then again, most artillery is pretty nice. One artillery that's not nice is probably Max's. Everybody else is just probably just decent and good, too good. No, probably Sturm artillery is not that great. Because he has the perfect movement or increased movement. More incentivizing perhaps tracked and wheeled play. That's a dead Recon. Battlecopter gets picked off. Interrupts the flip. This flip will happen. Another Battlecopter, anti-air tank, and Recon. She's right now 29,000. Is there still neutral property since it's an odd number? There may be a neutral property still on the map somewhere. Oh no, it's at 21. Never mind, it's the Fog of War stuff. Oh, does a flip. Recon goes down. And here, knocked out. Battlecopter has free reign. Good hit there from the artillery piece. We'll finish off with the infantry. Now got another Knuckle Duster. Finish off some of these outlying units. Battlecopter gets a good strike there on the medium tank. Now we got another Urban Blight. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air. Pulls back the tank. Nothing much she can do versus that battlecopter. Now that's a booster strike. Yep, 120% minimum. Neo tank. That's probably a devastating shot. I like seeing big numbers. How big is this number? I'm guessing 150? 200. Battlecopter, ETR, Recon, Infantry. Knuckle Duster. Dust off his knuckles. Still got this Neo tank that caused an issue. Will the Battlecopter try to smash into it? Takes out the tank there. Stops the flip. Takes out the Battlecopter. Gets trapped. Is he resigning if he's doing that? I think he's resigning. And he has resigned. His grade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Well, either way, that shall be my last recording for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.